Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Roll-Wise Show, the place where we talk about things regarding games. Today, we're actually going to be doing a little bit of a deeper dive into the anticipated games of 2026. Last time we spoke, we had actually talked a little bit about what we were anticipating, but ENWorld is generous enough to do a little bit of a poll of their ardent, I guess, their group, whatever, their forums and all that kind of stuff, to see what people are anticipating in the upcoming year. And it was actually a little bit
they had a vote.
A poll.
Very democratic.
Whatever. Yeah, it's basically it's a poll, it's a vote, whatever it is. It's not super scientific, but at least it gives you kind of an idea, at least as to the visitors for the ENWorld website, as to what they're anticipating in the upcoming year. And all that kind of stuff. And from what I recall seeing, they got about 10,000 votes. So at least a good sample to kind of give you an idea of what's going on. And that was their most anticipated of 2026 list. Now, I would say that, since there's millions of people that obviously play role-playing games, is this going to give you everything? No, but at least it gives you an interesting temperature check, And I guess my question would be, is that, like, I almost wonder if, because I don't know enough about ENWorld to know the kind of people that use it the most. Are they like D&D folk, or are they kind of indie OSR folk? Like, I don't really know what their audience is.
I think it's mostly indie folks, because they don't ever have, they do have D&D on there occasionally, but it's also submissions. Like, people tell them what to put on the list. Other people that are gamers tell them what to put on the list, and then those people vote. So there's games that just get omitted entirely because no one submits them.
Oh, exactly. And so, like, when we were looking at it and we were kind of examining for what we anticipated, at least from the list, because I didn't submit any games that
Dungeon Craft fans, that's who go to that website. Dungeon Craft fans.
Apparently. We could talk about that in a moment. So the first thing is that, kind of knowing that they have their own environment where these people are participating and stuff like that, because this isn't like a double-blind super scientific study. There's some other things that we can talk about related to how it actually goes, because I was truly and honestly surprised by the list. And I'll go through the list real quick, if that's okay, just so people know the top 10 that they had, and then we can kind of talk a little bit about what that anticipation means and where you saw was interesting, surprises for you, and all that stuff. So first thing, the number one on the list, Deathbringer, Professor DM. Second was Invincible by Free League. Third was Mistborn by Brotherwise. And they're calling Mistborn a game because it's supposed to be a standalone game in the Cosmere universe. So,
right.
Yeah, they're doing three games.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's supposed to be standalone because, like, the Cosmere rules, I guess they can be a little bit separate. Yeah. So, Warhammer 5e from Cubicle 7, Ars Magica from Atlas Games, Broken Empires from, what was his name?
Evil Baby,
Me, Myself, and Die.
It's Evil Baby Productions.
Evil Baby, yeah, that's right. And then we had The Black Company, Discworld, Old School Essentials, an update, and of course we had Twilight Sword, as rounding it out at number 10. So what I'm curious about, and I'm curious about your guys' opinion on this, is that it seems like Deathbringer, which is pretty much a YouTuber's pet project, came in and, according to what they said, had a significant number of votes more than number 2.
Well, I mean, there's two Internet Darling games on there. There's Broken Empires is the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, the Cult of Personality from their YouTube channels obviously went to ENWorld and voted. Like, so I think that obviously matters. Is internet people matter quite a bit to this. It's not casual people that are voting on this. It's people that are watching their videos.
There's a few casual people, but you can definitely sway the votes if you have a large enough audience and you can get enough of them to go vote for your project. That doesn't mean the project's bad. It certainly doesn't. I've heard good things about Deathbringer. It's an extension of Shadow Dark, and I hear that Kelsey Dion may be involved in some way as well. So Shadow Dark's a good game. This plays off of it. I think it could be really cool.
Yeah. And what's interesting enough about this is that I don't even think he has done a Kickstarter or anything yet. So I don't even know if it'll be released in 2026. So for it to be,
I believe the video I saw recently, he's planning on releasing in 2026.
really?
Yes.
Okay, maybe
there is a
PDF or
plan to
something.
have it released in 2026. I believe it's in beta right now.
Yeah, because I
Cool.
honestly don't I don't follow his YouTube channel as much, so I don't like keep every video. I have to say that he admitted it himself, as a lot of his stuff kind of became clickbaity and like that, but that's how he like sticks into the YouTube algorithm. He basically kind of gets those titles that draws people in, and then kind of helps keep his
when you
views
get
up.
to a certain size, the only way to
Mhm.
grow is to start trying to crack the algorithm, and some of that is clickbaity titles just to get people to engage.
But what's interesting about it though is that he was able to beat out Mistborn. I honestly thought, with how big of a launch Mistborn was last year, that it would have had, or not Mistborn, but the Cosmere role playing system would be. I thought it would come through, and if this Mistborn was on there, it would have had more people interested in it.
Well, the reason Cosmere was huge is because it was fans of Brandon Sanderson that backed the Kickstarter. They're not the same people that went and voted on ENWorld. ENWorld is very niche to the role playing piece and the people that watch those YouTube videos. So those are the people that voted. So of course, like Dungeon Craft and Broken Empires are going to be higher because that's kind of the environment. Whereas like Brendan Sanderson, the backing was that he got that general audience.
Yeah. Do you think that the Cosmere / Mistborn people just don't have the right influencers out there peddling it? So there's just not the same hype train to kind of get into those niche spaces and kind of produce these results.
The back Kickstarter wasn't as niche because it had a much like people looked it up and went, oh, it's Brendan Sanderson, I'm backing it. Mm-hmm. Whether they played role-playing games or not. Whereas ENWorld is for role-playing.
It's talking to people that play role-playing games. And Mistborn was part of the Cosmere Kickstarter. So it's not like they're raising any more money or anything. That doesn't mean people aren't looking forward to it. It was a stretch goal that they added.
What I was surprised by was Invincible was number 2. Because I don't think its Kickstarter scene. I mean, I think it made its asking value, but it didn't do great, I don't think.
Well, so Invincible, when you get to it, I actually had Invincible on here. Let me go to its Kickstarter page. So Invincible, so first and foremost, I got a lot of messages from Free League to back Invincible as a superhero role playing
property.
And in terms of IP and stuff like that, Invincible, I liked the comic books. I thought the TV show was okay. It wasn't necessarily groundbreaking for me or anything like that. But when they said, "Oh, do the Invincible thing," I think people fell into two camps. There's the people that are like, I love Free League products. And so when Free League was asking them to vote on this, because Free League did ask me, they were like, you like Free League products? Go vote for Invincible as the most anticipated game.
I got those emails too.
And I was like, nah, I was not interested in it at all. Mostly not because I don't think that the system could play an Invincible style game. That's just not an IP that I'm like so married to that I was like excited. So there's people like me, and then I think there were the people that were like, oh, Free League, anything Free League, I love Free League, let's do it.
Role-playing games are a niche, and then superhero role-playing games are like a niche within a niche. Yeah. And I'm not interested in superhero games, so I had no interest in the Invincible game.
I would certainly try Invincible. I don't know if I would purchase it. Exactly. I would probably play Invincible over some of the generic superhero role-playing systems that I've seen. I'm not trying to bag on them, but they get so bloated so fast, trying to let you create any type of superhero that you could possibly imagine, that the rules start to get super heavy. And
at least the
really
Year
crunchy.
Zero engine is easy. At least,
yes.
And it's the Year Zero engine.
If somebody said, "Let's play Invincible," I'd go, "Sure, let's give it a shot."
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know if I'm the right target for the book.
Yeah,
and I do well. I like Free League's products.
I do too. I mean, as a person who likes them quite a bit, it's just interesting because when they said that Twilight Sword was number 10 on there, that's also being distributed by Free League. But I don't think I saw any Twilight Sword like go vote for Twilight Sword on ENWorld. Well, I think that was Two Little Mice's they had to promote that themselves, and I just don't think it had the same.
Right.
I think they have equally equally enthusiastic crowds, like the people that are enthusiastic about like the outgunned people and stuff like that.
Right.
But I just don't think they have the same reach.
With the exception of Free League had probably played a pretty good price for the IP, which means they want the IP to sell because they paid for it. Yes. Whereas Twilight Zord, it's their own IP, so Two Little Mice's own IP. So
it feels like they're leaning heavily on some IPs, just not enough to.
Yeah, and Free League has quite a bit that they have quite a bit of IPs. They have the Walking Dead IP and the Invincible IP and all those.
You could get Free League people. You could get Robert Kirkman people. You could get superhero people. Two Little Mice, Household and Outgunned are very different games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, and Twilight Sword even has its own. They even created a new system for it. They call it the cat system, and so like it's a D12 system that you use and all that. And I haven't really seen too much about it other than what they published as their like preview for the game. But I'd be curious to see how it plays because I did back it
too.
I'm not gonna lie.
So yeah, so like role playing people are interested in it. They're interested in it as a new system, and Two Blind Mice have done an excellent, like Outgunned is an excellent game. So they have a reputation in the role playing community, but that's who probably voted and why it got 10 is because it doesn't have the overlap appeal that the advertising backing that Invincible did. Like they probably sent a ton to like you and I are getting emails from Free League being like, vote for this, whereas they didn't have the bandwidth to do that as much.
Mm-hmm. I'm interested to see how a game based on Final Fantasy and Legend of Zelda plays. We've played a couple of games, in that realm, but I'm interested to see these guys' take on it.
Yeah. So I think, and in truth be told, I think that I'm interested in all these new products, and I think that there's all coming out. I'm just wondering like how it, because it seems like there was a rush of the major influencers and they rushed last year to get all their stuff out. So does it help, Deathbringer to be tied to an influencer? And so like, if you're an influencer, you're pretty much foot in the door because your marketing is already done because you put thousands of hours into your YouTube audience and everything like that. And then like, so those people that aren't doing it, they may not find as much success because they're just not getting found. Maybe, I don't know. I'm curious.
You want to have an influencer with a fairly large backing to talk about your product and talk about your product often these days.
So as an unprompted aside, we actually know two people that are going to be doing their own Kickstarters here shortly, and so we're not of course affiliated with them in any way, receive product or anything.
They are friends of the show, but we're
not but we thought we'd give a shout out to both Agile Monk for his upcoming Kickstarter, Wondrous and Dangerous Consortiums and Zendria World Lore Book. I'll be curious to see how that gets put out into the world. Of course, going and saving that helps them get visibility, helps build it within the Kickstarter universe and everything like that, so that people know that it's an upcoming product. So if you're curious, they've got a little bit of information already posted for it, and we'll put a link in our show notes so that you guys can check them out. And then the second one is actually it's going to be done by Rel. And those of you that remember a little while back, we actually interviewed Michael Henderson. He's better known as Rel, and he's the one who did Distal. And so he launched Distal. Brent will have to speak more to it. I don't have the physical product or anything like that, but they received their Kickstarters. He is doing a lot of this solo. So, he's putting a lot of effort. It's very much a labor of love from what we've seen. And this Gossamer Frontier, it's a solo role-playing zine style game that he's going to be kickstarting soon. I don't know.
I think it's on BackerKit.
It's on BackerKit. That's right.
The links will be in the show notes.
Yeah, we'll send a link in the show notes. So if you want to follow the project, if it interests you, just as a quick pitch, if you like Mass Effect 2 and Dragon Age Inquisition, you might enjoy Gossamer Frontier. I did like both of those. So,
and Distal was a very well produced book, and it's a fun game. We tried it a little bit on if you watch our back shows, we did a little actual play, a little bit of the game with different archetypes within a game we were already doing, and we did interview Will and talk a bit about his book. It's a very interesting game, very fun game. You should give it
Yep.
Yeah. So there's our plug that obviously as super large YouTube creators, no, just kidding. We just thought we'd say it because we want to see those folks succeed, and we're excited for them to be putting out those products. So question here, it seems like OSR and all that stuff seems like it's still going strong, right? Like in this list, I saw a couple OSR games. I saw a couple games that were, like remakes of old games or re-editions or something like that. And then, and it's like IP stuff. So where do you think, because it seems like Deathbringer was number one, obviously, because of maybe the group, and maybe that's just maybe that's not representative of the community as a whole. But Invincible is an IP game. When you saw Thundercats wasn't on the list. It didn't look like it. It did super good on its Kickstarter. I mean, I think it probably underperformed.
It funded.
Yeah, they had a couple $100,000.
It funded by a lot because they only asked for a small amount, so it funded by quite a bit. It actually did pretty well, really, in comparison to what they asked.
I'm just curious from an IP standpoint. Was there a hunger for a 5th edition Thundercats game? So it's like, is it the right IP and is it the right system? Basically becomes the question.
I mean, some people were hungry for it. Like I said, they funded and people paid for it. Do I think it's something I'm interested in? Nah, but I'm not too interested in nostalgia stuff entirely. Like I wouldn't. It
feels like a heavy nostalgia play because there isn't any current Thundercats anything out there right now, right? Other than maybe some toys.
Correct. It's basically the toys and the show that people are thinking about when they buy it.
Sure.
Yeah.
And it obviously didn't make this ENWorld list.
Well, it didn't even get nominated. Like nobody even. I was looking through the comments, and I think Morris said it wasn't even nominated. I
don't even think anybody. I mean, no one's talked about it. Like us are the only influencers that are talking about it. But I mean, like, and there are some nostalgia plays, like Ars Magica is a nostalgia game. Like the reason that that's on there is probably because there's been, I think this is the 6th or 7th edition.
It's so the Ars Magica was actually a deluxe edition of their 5th edition. So so it was their deluxe 5th edition, but maybe some extras.
No, there's some rewrites in it.
Yeah.
I remember. But it's a nostalgia thing.
I remember Ars Magica being a thing with certain groups, right?
Yeah, it's a D&D alternative
back in the 80s and 90s. Yeah,
D&D was the thing.
The whole verb noun system, right?
Yep.
The verb noun magic system.
Yep. And honestly, for as much as people were interested in the Kickstarter and stuff like that, I really do think that's a game that I just totally missed. Like I've not played it, I haven't read it, but it sounds like an interesting premise, being in like mythical Europe or whatever it is. And because that's the one, right, where they're in mythical Europe and you have troop style play.
I believe so.
You're in kind of historic mythical Europe. Yeah. Like there's magic, but it's historically France.
I have picked up the book several times and flipped through the years, and flipped through it. Oh, hey, look, a new edition of Ars Magica.
I made like the 15 characters once to play in an Ars Magica game that never took off.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, because you have to make your wizard, and then you make a troop of characters that go with your wizard. So you don't actually play the wizard the entire time. You play the wizard, and then
depending on what's needed, right?
His people, or one person, like you have a group of people, and then like one person plays their wizard, and they have their henchmen, and then like because you're not the star of the game, you play your henchmen. So it's designed a bit differently than other games. It's a little more crunchy. So like it's one of those games that required a specific audience. Like it wasn't D&D, so it didn't get played as often, but people remember it fondly.
Well, the only thing I can say is that I would be curious to play it personally, because I feel like it's just a different style of play that I would like to give out. I did look at the Kickstarter recently, just because I was kind of reading some of the stuff that went into this, and I was like, I looked at their pledge levels, and there was like a $1,200 pledge level for Ars Magica. They're like, get the everything we've ever done, because it is backwards compatible, right? Like the world is and everything like that. And I was like, wow, my wife would kill me if I
backed it, not for that much.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You just got the physical product and all that
Ars
stuff?
Magic. I don't remember what level I backed it at, but I did get Ars Magic. I will have it.
Cool. But man, maybe we should play, because like I said, it's one of those games that's been around for so long that I feel like I should just play it just to kind of round out my history.
I guess here's the thing. Like, how many games did I back on the list? 2. I think there's 2 that I backed on the top 10 list.
Was the other one Warhammer Fantasy?
Broken Empires.
Broken Empires and Ars Magic. I backed those 2.
Yeah.
Warhammer Fantasy, I've never really looked into. I enjoyed the 3rd edition of it.
So Warhammer, the Warhammer 5e, I thought was interesting because it's another game. So the 5e is going to be they're going to put it out. It's been about 7 years since their previous edition, if my memory serves from what I read. The 4th edition was well enough received that they are looking at 5e as being a revised kind of edition. They want it to be backwards compatible with all the stuff that they do with 4e. So for those people that like and currently play a lot of Warhammer Fantasy role playing, that they will not be all of a sudden like, crap, I have to buy a whole new set of things. But they said that they wanted to fix some problems that exist with the game, and so to help with some of the bumps and all that stuff.
That's because the Fantasy Flight edition of Warhammer Fantasy was not well received, because it was a very fantasy fight game with like cards and like a board and like.
Was that the 4th edition or was that?
I
5th?
Don't know what edition it was,
because I thought 4th edition was Cubicle 7, and there. So this is just same.
No, there's a Fantasy Flight game that came out, because I had it for a while, but I hated it because it had like person cards and like weird, like, it was a fantasy fight game, so it was all about like gubbins. It was all about how many gubbins can you have in this game.
God. Well, or how many candelabras I can make, because I'd probably be another candle maker based on my rules.
I would have respected that more than the way that they did the game, the Fantasy Flight version. It looked very, very pretty, but it was pretty unplayable, really.
Yeah. So before I move on to the next part, and I just have a couple questions about D&D not really having a lineup for this year. I think the one thing that's fascinating about this list is that I can't look at this list and say like, oh, well, OSR is definitely the style that people want to play, because as soon as I say that, I look at Ars Magica and I look at, Warhammer, and I look at, a lot of the other games that are just not that OSR style game. So it seems like an interesting mix of like lighter rules, heavier rules. And I don't know. I'm curious if there's going to be a clear winner in 2026 as to people looking for more complicated or crunchy games, or are they still going to hang out with those rules light games and all that kind of stuff? So the 2026 is, if you remember, Wizards of the Coast doesn't really have a very heavy release schedule published. And I haven't seen.
They don't have a role-playing book plan. Like, they don't have any role-playing stuff planned. They have games that they're producing and using Tool Music to advertise.
And they have a crochet book, I believe, like a knitting book or something. if I remember from last time.
And Legos and miniatures and
it's all about licensing the property to as many toys as you can.
Merch.
So the question, I'm just curious if you think in 2026, if like the community conversion is actually still happening behind the scenes, or does this even matter to your average table? Do you think that even though D&D isn't putting out a book every month or anything like that, D&D Exit is just something we talk about, and that's just like WotC is just going, what idiot dungeon tubers.
Yeah, they don't care anymore. Theirs is on selling a license. Theirs is on selling Beholder t-shirts and
they want the game to keep going, and they'll have
the property to
whatever
keep going.
projects they'll have, but they've already shown that their audience is mostly bulletproof.
Well, and they don't have a very big production company anymore for like actual role-playing materials. So anything they have is going to be light.
They'll let third parties continue to produce the majority of their stuff. It's up to them to promote it. And the people who play D&D won't care about the indie games, and the people who play indie games
won't really care about D&D.
Won't care about D&D.
So D&D, so the fact that they're kind of silent on what their upcoming year is going to look like, it really is. You think that for the average D&D player, that's not going to matter a little bit?
No.
Yeah.
I
was
think
actually
D&D is the
player
behemoth.
doesn't want to buy more books.
Yeah,
and
it's the behemoth. So
what's fascinating to me, just to kind of add to that, I was kind of scrolling through Reddit today on the RPG subreddit. I was lurking because I wasn't going to say anything on there, but somebody was just like, "What's wrong with our table? We play D&D, but we want to play other stuff, and we just never play other stuff. Like they always try like one or two, but then it always boomerangs right back to D&D, and it kind of reminds me of the stuff that where it's like, well, at least they're trying stuff, but maybe D&D is their like comfort game, where they feel the most comfortable playing.
Well, I suppose D&D does that. D&D does the one thing well, like every different kind of player D&D can appeal to, and it does it kind of on accident. Like I said, it isn't a design principle that they did. It just does it on accident, where it's like, oh, I want to slay monsters. Well, we're going to have that in the game. Oh, I want to role play. Oh, you can do that in the game. I want to collect loot. Oh, you can do that in the game. Like it's easy to design all those things within D&D, where there are other games, they're designed to do a thing, not really do all of it. So it's like D&D does that. That's what D&D does, is like character driven fantasy that has a bunch of facets that can appeal to any type of player. Whereas most of the other games, like the simpler narrative games, appeal to a specific type of player. So that's most likely what's happening, is somebody doesn't necessarily like it. And there's always that problem where it's, what do I always say? If you love a game or you like a game, cool, you're gonna have to run it. Like you're not gonna get to play it.
I don't have any context because I didn't read the thread, but it sounds to me like the dungeon master, the person running the games, wants to try new systems, but the players, there's no buy-in, meaning they're probably not reading any of the stuff that they're supposed to read. You know what I mean? Like they're kind of trying stuff, but new stuff is hard. You're flexing different muscles. You're trying different things.
Or like the players are like, oh, I love this game, we should try it. And then they run a couple games and they're like, oh, I don't want to really run games. I don't want to do this work.
Or I don't. I liked
or
it better when I just showed up. And
the DM's like, oh, I can run a D&D game.
Or the alternative is that they bounce off the game. Like there's games that we played that I was like,
we bounce off of.
I thought we'd enjoy more, or like the premise of the game was really interesting, but then when you got to the execution of the game, it got less interesting, more quick. Inevitably became a shelf warmer.
Or that other game that's about lighting kids on fire.
Oh, that game wasn't. I felt like I was able to play that game more than Inevitable, though.
Yeah,
like
there were parts of that I was okay with.
Yeah, me too. But there was a weird focus on lighting people on fire in the.
But I'm that way with IP games, like the Black Company game that was on the list. Like I've read some of the books. Like I love, sort of weird alternative history. What if these guys wound up here with this knowledge or this technology? That's a soft spot for me. I don't know if the game's going to be great. I hope that it is. I hope that it's a game people want to play. I think I want to play it.
Do you so? Well, I mean, I have like all the Chronicles over on my shelf over there, and I'm curious because I think there was already a Black's Company role playing game.
There was. This is the second edition, technically.
Yeah, it was Green Ronin did it in 2004. It looks like.
I will say that the Black Company game is being produced by a company that usually puts out good games with people that put out good games, so it'll probably be a good game. But it'll be very niche. It'll be, do you like Black Company? That's what type of game this is. This is a Black Company game.
Totally military focused.
Yep.
It
is a military peasant funnel.
Mercenary
unit.
It
is a military peasant funnel. Make 5 characters. 4 of them are going to die.
Well, and that's fair. And that's what was interesting to me. What with as much IP strength out there, one thing that did surprise me, and I was kind of curious about your takes from the games that may have been listed or what games you're looking towards in 2026, is that on that top 10, I didn't see Dungeon Crawler Carl. And I have to say, out of all the rabid fan bases out there, I would have assumed, these people set up Google alerts to see when Dungeon Crawler Carl is mentioned anywhere.
Dungeon Crawler Carl came out after the list came out, though.
Yeah, the Kickstarter is until like April.
Oh, I know, but I'm just saying is that because I just saw it on the list of anticipated games in 2026, and I was like, I don't think it'll release in 2026, but
Yeah, I think it's.
It was on the list. I didn't think it was on the list. I didn't even think it was on the list.
Yeah,
I didn't vote, so I didn't see the whole. I'm only seeing the top 10.
I did vote, and I didn't vote for any game that was on that list.
You were 0 for 3. I mean, not to say that says anything
I guess,
other than.
I guess I did vote for Ars Magica. It was Ars Magica, Vaults of Varn, and I don't remember what the last one was.
Yeah. Well, and I voted for Sword World. There's 2.5 edition or whatever that they're going to put out, and it's actually interesting. I'm curious about your guys' thought, because they did recently say, hey, you can do a reservation, and Fabula Ultima did the same thing where you can do like a reservation to gauge interest. I'm curious what your guys' thought are on those reservations, because it's like, I don't mind a reservation, but do I get my money back in that case, or do I just give them $5?
I think you can ask for it, but most people wind up not. And
because I was like, what exactly am I holding in this scenario here?
It is a marketing technique designed to create FOMO. 100% designed to create FOMO.
Well, then I don't like it. I hate those things that design high pressure tactics.
Yeah, I build up enough FOMO in my head that I don't need predatory marketing practices.
So anybody from a publishing company listening to us will understand that we speak for the people, obviously. We hate it when you use predatory practices.
I really don't care, because if it's something that I'm interested in, I'm probably just going to do whatever you ask. So
yeah. That's true.
I don't mind supporting especially small publishers.
If I have the money.
But I don't usually pre-pledge anything. I'll follow it. I will potentially sign up for emails, but I usually won't pay any money unless I absolutely know I'm going to back it, and usually not until the campaign launches.
Yeah.
But that's just me.
That's fair. That's fair. I kind of have gotten that way too. It's like I pretty much, the only one that changed my mind was Twilight Sword. I was originally not going to back that, but then I saw some of the art and I was just like, I hate to do that, but if it's because I like the presentation of the system so much that when my little kid's a little older, maybe I'll be able to play that with him, because it seems possible that there could be a family focus game in there.
I think it looks neat.
And so, but it's like, but I was originally not going to, and much to your point, Brent, if I know I'm going to do something, I usually just go all in right at the beginning, and I got a little FOMO'd on that, because I was like, well, it's not too expensive.
Well, we've all participated in Kickstarters, and we'll just say,
for the prize.
Yeah, we'll just say there were some FOMO decisions made.
Yeah. So
I know in my case, I won't speak for you guys.
Well, I mean, anytime you back a Kickstarter, it's like, oh, that sounds cool. I mean, that's what they depend on.
Yeah, 70 seems good. Oh, look at all I can get for 300.
Oh, 70 seems good.
That
for
seem
$5
bad.
more, I can get a pin? Okay.
Well, I'm supposed to be getting some sort of pin with my alien thing. I think
I got a pin with my Eat the Reich.
Nice.
And a patch and a coin.
I don't know what to do with those, because it's like
I don't either. I was like, oh, those are cool, and then I don't have shit to do with any of them.
Get my bomber jacket out and my role playing patches all over it.
Get your battle vest.
That's
what I should do. I should make a role-playing battle vest with just role-playing patches on it.
It's just put it on, and it's like a veteran of 72 Kickstarters.
Hadn't beat you to that.
I'm sure it exists.
That's funny. So I guess, like I said, I thought that Dungeon Crawler Carl would be a little bit more hyped on the list, especially since it's a solid IP. I'm sure there's a lot of overlap between gamers and that.
Nope, just you.
Dungeon Crawler Carl is like
just you.
Way big, I guess.
It's big.
And so my question is that that was my surprise. Like, I'm surprised it didn't make top 10. Okay, whatever. I only had one on the list as opposed to Brent's 0. What did you guys think?
Like I said, Ars Magica was on there.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. What was what were the surprises for you guys? What did you think should have made the list? What do you think didn't even make the anticipated list at all? Anything out there?
Go ahead, Brent.
No, go ahead, because I don't have anything.
I was gonna say I was surprised to see Discworld, the Adventures in Ankh-Morpork, on here, because it literally wasn't it on the chart last year too. Like
a lot of anticipation for it.
The physical book. Is the physical book out? Do you have the physical book, Mike?
I didn't get it. That was just a friend of ours that got that.
But does he have the physical book? Because I think the PDF came out, so it's anticipation of the physical.
It could be that would. Yeah, I'm not hammering on Discworld at all. I think it's a great property.
Cool that it's on there because the rules in that game are absolutely fascinating. I don't know how much more you could do with it other than the one shot that they provided. It would be interesting to see what you did. But it was the rules in the book are absolutely amazing.
If you were playing with a bunch of Pratchett fans who were leaning into the puns and the farce of it all, I think it would be amazing. But I'm a Edge. I like Pratchett. I just haven't read as much as a lot of people.
I was more fascinated with what you could do with the rules as a like basic role playing sense.
Oh, okay.
Where it's like, here's your character sheet. Here's your character sheet. Write things down. All right, that's your character, and then that's what you roll. I think that was neat. That's a very over the edge warp system kind of way to make a character, and I think that was absolutely brilliant. Like, I think there should be like a pamphlet game, like just basic rules that you could just make your own game out of that. Because I thought that was brilliant. Like, I thought the character generation was really brilliant in that game. As for the setting, like I said, I don't know enough about Pratchett to be like, oh, I could make this Pratchett style game. And comedy games are always hit or miss with me anyways, because I'm trying to be funny.
You're trying not to be funny, but trying to be funny. It's like,
you have to like play it straight faced, and it's hard to make. It's just hard to be funny like that. Like, I think intentionally being funny is hard.
Yeah, unintentionally being funny is also hard.
Well, that just kind of happens sometimes.
So okay, well, so you didn't really have any surprises, Brent. So
I think these lists are funny to me, and I'm just surprised they exist, really. Because especially for role playing games, because there's so many role playing games that no one is going to put on that list because they're so just niche. Like I told you that we talked about that cozy game that I can't remember the name of right now, that I'm interested in. That wasn't anywhere on there because it's a small game.
Yeah. So. Well, and then there are other people that talk about games like one of the games that I recently saw something for was a game called Hollows by Rowan Rook and Deckard. I know they're doing their pre-order and everything like that, but that's a fairly popular. I remember the fairly popular publisher. So it surprises me that something like that wasn't on the list. But then again, like I said, if you look at the audience of people that typically visit the site, you're going to see the types of games that they recommend are probably going to be, like there's going to be a certain type of game. Now I'm not saying that their types of people are like a negative thing. I'm just saying they've got their community, and their community may have certain preferences that we are not privy to because it's just something that they built.
I sort of feel like that's what these kinds of lists are, is like the person that has the strongest influencer is going to win because they're going to have the biggest mouthpiece.
Exactly. Right. And it sounds like whatever community that Dungeon Craft has, Professor DM visits.
They go to ENWorld. They go to
ENWorld because first of all, you have to be registered on ENWorld to be able to vote. So they not only registered to vote, but they may already use this tool as a way to discuss games and all those kind of things, which is fine. It was more fascinating to me. Talk about, because I think if you were to look at other things, I'm not sure that there are any other sites that are as big or do as big of a poll to kind of put their finger in the wind to see what's going to be blowing for the
and there's, I don't know, the award sites are all weird. Like there's the Diana Jones Award, is that what it's called? There's that award.
I don't remember that one. Which one was that?
The Indiana Jones.
That was the Origin Award, wasn't it?
No, it's like the Diana Jones Award. It's got the copy of the book in it or whatever. I just don't remember what it's called. It's like the Obelisk Award that they do every year. We did a show on it, so it's sad that I don't remember the name.
Yeah, no, you're right. The Diana Jones Award. I was thinking of a different one, but yeah, the Diana Jones Award. The winner of the 2020 is a tie, and so you had Daybreak and.
Yeah, so like, I mean, any of these just seem like I said, It's the person that's doing it now seems to be like who knows about it. So, and there's plenty of games that you're probably just not going to hear about that are probably going to be great games that go just unheard of on this list that somebody should probably be louder about. So that's why I'm not surprised. Like, there's just games that aren't going to be talked.
But yeah, and because it is submissions of games that are,
and I might not hear about them. Like, I'm sure there's games that I haven't heard about that I would be excited about if I had heard about them that I didn't. It is not the Invincible game.
Well, exactly. And, and I think that's interesting. But what I would like to say is that if there was a way for there to be a more complete anticipated game of this kind of stuff, because you have your Gen Con awards, you have your, your Ennies. Ennies are a big award show. It's a lot of pomp and circumstance. And I would be proud if I had a game published or a supplement or a product published and somebody said, we're going to nominate you for an enemy. Jesus Christ, Mike. An Ennie.
I'm nominating for you an enemy.
I would like you to have a nemesis.
The actual Ennie awards are a little bit different. They're not just a general poll either.
No, but I'm just saying is that the Ennie, but I mean, ENWorld has that as a feature of their community and something that they promote, whereas this anticipated thing is, kind of a community poll to see what's out there. But it's just fascinating that it's, like, are these games that are coming out here, will any of those actually make it on the 2026 Ennies, since they'll be, if they're eligible for consideration. I mean, maybe there'll be a silver, maybe there'll be a nominee or something like that. But I'd be curious to see how much overlap there is between the anticipated games and the actual Ennie awards.
We can revisit that in an episode when the actual Ennie awards come out.
Remind me, 1 year, Ennie awards, anticipated games.
It'll be up on the page, Mike. It'll be up on the page, Mike.
It will probably be. You'll see it.
Yeah, because I'm not seeing anything about, like, do you think it wasn't supposed to be like an Apocalypse World revision coming out, a 3rd edition?
Yep, there's a revised Apocalypse World coming out. But I think people might be Apocalypse World out a little. Like, I don't think so. Apocalypse World is one of those games where the results of that game were much more popular than the game itself. Like, Apocalypse World started getting used for everything, but not as many people play Apocalypse World itself. They used the rules and made, like, Monster of the Week and games that are infinitely more popular than the thing that influenced the rule set. So I think that's why it's probably not in there. Like, people aren't that curious about Apocalypse World. And if you've ever read the Apocalypse World rules, there's some smutty stuff in there that's a little weird.
But wasn't that taken out, or was that taken out later?
Not in the base Apocalypse game. It's like a big part of the Apocalypse World game.
Oh.
Yeah, like you get different abilities, or I can't remember what they're called in the game, based on your intimacy level with the person that you're doing it on.
Now that should tell everybody that I've only played derivatives of the Apocalypse World.
Most people have, I think.
And so I haven't actually played the Apocalypse World game. It's always been one of those, I should probably play that at some point, but just truthfully, games just keep inserting themselves into the mix. And so I guess that being said, we don't have any plans to play a single game in all of 2026, other than I do have a Coriolis, the Third Horizon game that is going to be
plans to play games, and
not like a full, like, that's all we're playing. Like, we're not just doing from January 1st till December 31st.
No, not one game, multiple games.
Right.
We have multiple games and all that kind of stuff. So is there a game you're looking forward to this year that we're playing right now? Because I think we had at least talked about Coriolis, Dolemwood. We're going to do a little more Daggerheart in a play-by-post scenario. I mean, you guys are looking to run some games. Like, we're going to do a little Wild Sea, so look forward to us posting actual play games on Tuesdays again, because we're getting our shit together, and we'll be doing two episodes a week again. That's more on me, though. So, but any really. Games you guys are looking forward to out of our current lineup or about to introduce and want to promote?
What do I want to play? I don't know. There's a bunch of games that I want to try. We're doing Fallout and home game now. I'm doing Fallout. That's been good so far.
Nice.
First session. That's with different players than our Wednesday nights games. And
yeah, does anybody have a shotgun in that?
Not yet.
They should.
No, actually, they decided they were going to be a person is a robot, which is interesting, and a survivor who's a Shakespearean expert who goes from town to town doing plays.
Still need the shotgun.
Nothing about that says no shotgun, though. Like that's
true, but they haven't gotten a shotgun yet. You don't get one at first.
Fair enough. Well, especially not as a robot and a poet.
Although your farmhand robot comes with a buzzsaw and a laser gun, so
that's true. That's true.
Yeah, it's been a minute since we played Fallout, the 2D20 Modifius game, and I honestly liked how it played, and I liked the speed at which it played. Yeah. So I'll be curious. You have to do a little report out on how the game goes once you get a little bit of progress into it and all that. Do you guys have a like an adventure planned out, or is it like just like a one shot that you're doing? Or
I have an adventure planned out so far.
Nice.
Or a couple different acts that'll lead forward. I think we're going to play it for a while. I think we'll try. Anyways.
Cool. It's a good one. Did you guys watch the second season of the Fallout show then?
Well, it's not over yet, but I have been watching it. Yes.
Okay. I was just curious. And then Jeff, anything that tickles your fancy? Because I have one that kind of came out of left field.
No, we have. I mean, all of the games that we've talked about and that we've agreed to play, I'm looking forward to playing. I'm sure there will be some other ones, that pop up here and there. And if I don't, if the experience with Wild Sea doesn't make me never want to DM again,
I don't think we're those. I don't think we're those type of players. I don't think.
I hope.
No, it's not. It's not you guys. It's me going, wow. That must have been painful.
We did very well the first time before the unfortunates happened.
So thanks. I appreciate that. But yeah, I may try to do some other stuff. I'm not as we talked about last night, Mike, I'm not as homebrewy. Mike's the homebrew king. Brent's pretty homebrewy, and Jeff's like, is there a pre-canned adventure I can run?
We try to do. I think it's fun, and you got to get your feet in there somewhere. I personally like the idea of running adventures until you kind of get your own cadence, and it's like the whole walk before you run. Like, don't feel obligated to sprint right after you pick up a role playing book.
You have to find your place.
Well, and I'm finding some of the weird stuff that I fall into. Like, I'm still oddly mesmerized by corkboard. I don't know what it is about Morkborg spin-offs or extensions, or I don't know what we call them.
Those should technically be easy to run. So
they should be super easy to run. Yeah. But a police procedural there has me more than the pirate one, and the pirate one is pretty good.
What's the police procedural one? What's it called?
Corkboard.
Corkboard.
Yeah, I think the one thing that about Morkborg really inspires is it inspires identity through art, right? Mm-hmm. Like I think we all, like the game, like if you were to tell me,
they're very thematic. All of the Morkborg games are very thematic. Yeah, they do one thing, and their work is to do that easy, quick, and that one thing.
64 pages or less.
Then that one thing to the max. It's a death metal game. Yes. Oh, all this art and all the stats are death metal. You can hit a guy with a hammer. Yeah, that's all the rules that you need.
And the people that have really bought into that extended Borg universe, I guess we'll call it, for whatever reason, the people that have really bought into that really have resonated with that artistic vibe. And so you get these people that have focused a lot on just the presentation of the book, and that really helps it out, because I think Pirate Borg looks awesome. I love the presentation from Morkborg, even though it was a fucking weird thing to read. I was like, what am I reading here? Am I supposed to read this picture? Is this spiral text? What is happening?
It's good for quick one-shot games. It's good for those games where it's good for people that don't have. We're not meeting every week for
and if you just want to throw something together. Yeah. And honestly, the Viking one looked really good. The Ninja one looked really good. Those people weren't.
No, there's been a lot. There's been a lot of them. There have been a lot. So, if I did back Berserker, and it is fulfilling here. Oh, I think in February. So I should have that by March or April.
Nice.
I may want to try that.
Really liked the look of it.
I did too. That's one I probably shouldn't have backed. Nothing against it. It was more the volume of campaigns.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, truth be told, I'm not really an OSR guy, but Dolmenwood, I'm liking it. The work that they've done for it, I'm looking at just if they have a sale, but I've got all the books that they have, like the player's guide, map book, cart, all that. I've got it in a cart on the Necrotic Gnome website or whatever. So
Dolmenwood has been fun.
It
has so far.
So far, yeah, it's been a one that I kind of wanted to play, but it wasn't like something I was like, oh, I'm so excited to play this. I was like, I'm really interested to try it. I like the vibe, I like what they put out for it. But the more I read it, I was like, oh my god, this is actually really well done. It's
a good setting and a good game. They think they nailed both.
Yeah, and so we're going to be finishing up Winter's Daughter because I thought I wanted to try that since it was fairly well regarded as kind of an introduction to Dolmenwood, and then of course see if there's something down the road I'd like to play as well. But I'm enjoying it. I'll be curious to see what kind of decisions you guys make.
Bad ones.
Hopefully. I really and one of our friends did roll the mighty 1 hit point, so
I think my friar only has 2.
Yeah, if you see combat,
it's entirely possible.
You're not exactly heroic with 1 hit point, or you're heroic
our
for a
friend
second.
Almost died setting up camp.
Yeah, oh man, I love the weird niche rules like that sometimes. Because I had made the offer, I was like, hey, we could just hand wave if you guys want to, or we can do the travel rules.
We're trying to play the game, man.
And so we did the travel rules, and I have to say,
they can be brutal.
It was brutal a little bit, but it was fun. It was just a fun way to kind of like engage with your characters we didn't have a combat. We didn't have a surprise encounter or anything like that.
Well, if there's mechanics for it, like if there's crunch around normal stuff, like you don't need to combat every game. Like if there's game to be had that isn't combat, like you can fill the game and be entertaining. That's one of the things that I think some other games have missed is like you can do game that isn't just we fight the monster.
Yeah, your fight could be against that hard that place that you put your bedroll. Was it too hard to sleep on? I guess in his case it was, because he was not well rested at the end of the night. Makes me laugh. I'm enjoying it. So with that being said, we truly appreciate it if you made it to the end of this video. We're curious if you had really the same thoughts that we did about the most anticipated games of 2026, or if you have your own game. I know that, obviously DC 20 didn't make the list, so I don't know if that's because people aren't confident that it's going to release this year, or or what, I don't know. But I'm looking forward to it, and once it comes out, we're going to play another game in it, so that'll be a good time if you ask me. So whenever it does, so no pressure, just whenever you're ready, man. It's better to release a game that's good than shit and then try to fix it later, if that makes sense. Isn't that what they say about games or stuff? Yes, don't pump it out and then
release it broken.
The current philosophy is release it broken and you can fix it later.
For video games, but they're easier to download.
True. They're easier.
Games that you actually have to print out, shipping broken stuff.
People still do that?
Bad idea. Mm-hmm.
People print
role playing games.
That's what Brent is saying. People print stuff. Yeah. What's a printer? Well, cool. So we'll be also exploring a few different types of games. So I know that solo RPGs are going to be kind of fun, so we might explore some solo content, but we have a play-by-post game, so we'll be looking for your suggestions on what makes good play-by-post. What makes a good play-by-post game. I've got my suggestions that I've set with the group, and I'd be curious to see what other people have out there. Maybe I can expand that list. But yeah, Jeff, do you want to tell people how they can get a hold of us, specifically Brent on social media?
Yeah, you can find us on most social media platforms. We are at Rollwise. I forgot the entire list of everything. If we're not there, let us know, and maybe we'll be there, maybe we won't. You can also email us, rollwiseguys@gmail.com.
Yeah, check us out on our socials, and as always, roll well, roll wise, and be safe out there. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks.